All right, mister, what do you think you're doing? All right, mister.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Having a fine morning, afternoon, dinner, lunch, breakfast, brunch, whatever time, whatever you're eating, you're enjoying. So, we're back with some more Stanley Parable. Gonna be fun. This time, it's asking us for the time again. The time is 5:03. Okay, we're hanging. We're holding. Before we get started, can I just say something? Actually, fuck both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't 12 in college. Kinda. Sometimes I pay. Yeah. 504. Knowing if the I think you're correct. I think you do. That's a lot. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. So cooperative. Next time you boot up the game, log to your favorite time. I can do that. So, last time, we we got pretty much like the like basic and like Abe. And then where we left off, we're venting us.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
You know about Sam.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Number
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Very
He
simple.
sat at his desk in room 427.
We already know about it. Okay, well, here I also got an achievement. Welcome back. I'm assuming that's login. And I don't know where we are. Oh. Right there, that okay, this is where we left.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, sorry, I just had to do that real quick. I need a keybind for that, honestly.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking
It
about
wasn't
the
that bad.
past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
Was it pretty good?
So
I never
I
played
made
it.
something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Aren't you like
Just our
Game
little
Develop-
secret. Take a look.
Skyrim type of vibes?
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite
surprised I even
memories
have
so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow. Crazy. Still can't jump.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone
Don't
remind
forget.
you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was
No.
sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally
Is that
launched?
just Stanley Parable?
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
13. Release. That picture. Office. Greatest wealth? Memory. That's the ending. Ain't ending. Time. Geographic. Cargo. Stanley Parable. Oh, so it's like the actual like. Oh, this is 2. 14 Independent Games Festival. Stanley Parable. A Face. Stanley Parable. They marked out The Last of Us. I mean, honestly, yeah, Last of Us 2. Clock, a random clock. Our first kiss, first car. Mozilla Fire. Mile. Stuff up there. Their first stop. Cannot play. Outside. 5 years. I think that was one of the original. Yeah, I remember you. Don't worry. Press. Dominate. Game. That's where he died. Aww. Cannot. Looks like a ham. Boards?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism.
Oh,
10
wow.
out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was
I'm playing
all of them.
Persona
And
5
now
right now, and it's
it's
really
nothing.
good. I
It's
just
no
finished
games
playing
at
that
all.
before.
It isn't even the
played it a
Stanley
little bit
Parable
before, but-
anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk
It's such a long game.
with an hour of new elevator content.
Elevator con- I'm loving the elevator. Doors open. Picture is it just Portal? It's literally just Portal. What the hell? Left. Oh, that's literally just Portal. Dash. Okay, there's Minecraft in this. I was assuming Minecraft was going to be in this somewhere, but I didn't think it was going to be. Okay, well, there was last time we played, I found an Easter egg for Heyday, I believe it was, with the little American flag kind of map thing. There's Portal, now Minecraft. I'm not even surprised that Minecraft is a Minecraft game now. Fours, Memories, the original. There's level design stuff. That's know if that's for Stanley Parable. Buttons. Go downstairs though. Oh no. Something back. Something. Oh, because the portal in Minecraft. What else do we have? Something the end is ever. A MacBook. Paula. Okay. There.
Here's another moving passage,
Carpet
this
texture.
time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
That's true. I feel like some games just need to be left alone, and then others need to be. Some just. Behind the series from. Gotta be from. I just wouldn't recognize it.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Do I just go back?
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Cold drinks, that's what's down here. The boys. Oh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews
Reviews.
from Steam,
Oh,
the
no.
online video
Not
game
Steam.
distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh god,
Surely
I bet
these
it's bad.
reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Bet it's bad, yeah.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical
really is.
insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh. Views. Can't read. But they definitely are real. Doors.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Wonder if these are all
While
real.
the idea for the game is
I bet they
good,
are.
for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Sometimes you
You
are.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh,
Sometimes.
goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well,
Dude is
I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
With a
Oh dear. What an awful
cow
memory to have to
profile
hold
picture.
on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I
I
let
don't feel
these
like that
people
as well.
down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
ball bender.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
2014.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative
Oh.
reviews from the record.
Thumbs up.
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a
Anything?
skip button we shall have.
Oh. Oh. Whoa. Darkness.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no.
You keep
The
going.
Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going
We'll
to
look at
get.
the clock.
Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here,
Bro,
we'll
that-
pretend that I've just begun an interminable
Oh, but
monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and the... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to
Is it?
deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd
Oh,
say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the
shame.
power of the button. The
Only
minute I
been
start to
like
go off on a thoughtless
10 minutes,
display of
but-
self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is
okay.
becoming longer and
About
longer.
2:15.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can
Yeah, I
ramble
guess so,
on to
about
myself
45
about.
minutes.
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
I don't know.
Where did the door go?
So that time
Wasn't
just-
there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a
Guys,
window
you wanna see one of
anywhere?
my fans?
A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before.
This is one of my
wasn't there?
fans. Right?
I swear there was.
Say hello.
Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option
I'm
at all.
trying.
I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door. Stanley!
door.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Has it?
You've just been frozen there.
12
I don't know
hours.
why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000
nothing.
times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door.
No door?
There's
We can make
just
a door.
you and... Oh, Stanley,
Oh my
back.
god.
you're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
How long has it
Stanley,
been?
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
can make it longer.
Just sitting here. Not a
There's only
single
one
person
light.
to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
I'll listen.
Me
I'll give him.
talking and you saying
Oh,
nothing.
there's some like.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me
Random light
just
back?
talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's
really
what
can't.
I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because
I
maybe,
can hear
Stanley,
you.
maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
I think you're
Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
you're not fiction.
Was I scared
me.
of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real.
You're
Yet
really
to speak
real.
to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I
wonder
am
how long
someone.
talks-
I am something. I am
talks
being
work.
listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as
How
you will
long
press
does he
the
talk?
button for the
Because
next
he
time.
has to stop
What a
at least
terrible
at some
dread it
point.
strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of
They
returning
wouldn't
to
let the
such
voice
coldness.
actor talk for
Come,
this long.
let us sit in silence together here for just a
Oh.
moment. Let us anticipate it.
Okay, that's kinda
Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay, so now there's pretty much silence.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation.
How long
for
is he
me.
gonna talk?
It was unlike...
We're done. Oh, the button. He's just dead. Is he dead?
But they didn't
Oh
understand
my
the
God.
game was never
Okay.
meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to
Calm down,
speak
calm
to
down.
the human
Okay,
condition.
all
But
right.
where are
Shh,
the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't...
Okay, you're done. Okay. Press
The end is never the
Oh my
end.
God.
Is never the end. Is never the
End
end.
is-
Is never the end. 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 Is never the end.
It's gotta
Is
just-
never the end. Is 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 never the end.
Yeah, well, I just ended it. So. Feeling it. Oh, it's a... Okay. Someone explain what just happened? Yep. Maybe the skip button wasn't a good idea. So, oh my God. This is... Happen. What has happened? Oh my God. We're like sideways. Wait, can I press it again? Am I gonna be able to press it again? But the... Whoa. Stuff. What the fuck is going on? Can I just walk anywhere I want, or like a bear? Just around. Looks like there's stuff over there, but I doubt we get on the roof. No, you can't. Never mind. I lied. Apparently, they just blocked that off or something. Okay. Was that it? That was it? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
That's it.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, the end. That means there's one. I think. Whatever.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Let's see the new content. Bye bye. Need the new content.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
I don't know how
so
different
forget this
one.
Ultra Deluxe nonsense.
I
say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. That was
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I don't really know what fans have been asking. Taste the sequel. What do we have? We have... There's probably an Easter pyramid, something data drink, something whiz fizz, zip. There is. Okay.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
This is a picture on, like, those off-painting. There's something. Question. File thing. Oh, look at that. Alright, let's see. What do they got? What do they got? Last edited 28 minutes ago. It's just a bunch of different, like, things. I wonder whose Google account they use. Whiteboard. Okay. Interesting. Oh. There's two of them sitting side by side. I'm pretty sure that's just a copy of them. Exactly. That's just what.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Okay, all right. We got some names here. We got Portal 2, got Half-Life 2, Batman: Arkham Asylum 2, Infinity, Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Dark Souls. Didn't really. sequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to Parable. Show floor. And the bus. Consent. Okay, actually, back there. Walk through. Ooh. This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Office. Stanley Parable. Insurance bucket. Button this has the name of the player that's playing the game. That's new. There's a statue of Infinite Hole. I know someone was talking about that, and the bucket. Your name. Heck. Should I even be
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. Sure. Pretty new and easy. If it's that simple. Collectibles. Exit. Settings World Champion. Hole. What was this? Settings World. Okay. Oops, I did not mean to just... Oh my god. I hope it's gonna start me back close to it. Please start me somewhere. Oh my god.
All
I
of his
just
co-workers were
started
gone.
all of them.
What could it
Accident.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Dumb.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
So... Can't believe I just restarted that on accident. Bro. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, well, let's get through this real quick. You already know what it is.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could
Wonder
go
what
in
speedruns
so
are gonna
many
be like for
different
this game.
directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Please no street gods. What's gonna be like an NFT? All grown up. Bankruptcy. Red is the new orange. Oh my god. New updated ray trace to more of the same, but in a good way. Equal to the Parable MS. New features, new content, new ideas. Consistent quality with just the right. Okay, let's do turn on the left. doesn't know my name. No way I know.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Yeah, I mean...
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it says dev team.
Sorry, I should have
My name is
clarified.
Jim.
Right now,
Just kidding,
the
it's not
button
Jim.
only says the name Jim.
Okay.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
What if it actually
Here,
said your name?
let's have
Like
you
somehow.
role play as
Like it
Jim
read like
to
your
really
Steam
simulate
account
the
and
full
stuff.
experience of this
The
feature.
name on that.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and
me.
waking as Jim, falling in love
Jim
and
is
being
I.
heartbroken as Jim,
I
seizing
am
all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim. Whoa,
I'm Jim.
hold on. I wasn't finished setting up
Well,
the
I don't care if
backstory.
you're finished
If you
setting
don't
the
properly
backstory. I'm
roleplay
Jim,
as
that's all that
Jim,
matters.
then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish
Oh my
first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I am Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out
I'm
of
happy.
here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Sure. Oh.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says.
It
But
is
no.
my name. I don't know
Instead,
what you're talking about.
I can't even think about it. I'm
Really?
taking the Jim button away.
No, no. 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 Oh my god. There goes my fun. Maybe Jim anymore. Bob. Damn. Can't open any of these doors. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm not Jim anymore.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2.
That'd be kinda,
They would appreciate what I've created here.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the epilogue. That's just... We already did that though, so let's go... What's this? Please. Walk through. Let's have a walk.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh. Get well someday or...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it
Are you
is.
serious?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No.
No, we should...
I've
No,
made
get
my
well
decision.
someday.
We're moving on.
Oh my god,
Come
seriously?
now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have
chose
to move
badly. I
on from
didn't
our
do it.
mistakes.
Jump circle is back? 32 lost. Sounds like, you know, free candy, but free achievement. Pull lever?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it, though?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous
Stanley
fans
Parable
all over
Ultra
the world
Deluxe.
who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It's not happening. It's literally not. What am I supposed to do until then? Go back? I don't want to go back. Gotta go back. Like the only way I can go.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Curious what this is. That's the settings. This is new. Yeah, this is.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
What was that? Seashore. In that park. In that park. What do you think it's gonna do? Welcome to the official website of Stanley Parable 2, a sequel, huh? Watch our useful and informative video more about the Stanley Parable journey of becoming what it's all about. Watch our helpful and informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable and what the journey was all about. Got a 9-minute drop in.
Say there, Timmy, what's that you're enjoying? Why, it's breakfast, of course. Everyone loves breakfast. But did you know that breakfast is getting a sequel? That's right.
Really?
It's called
Is it lunch?
Lunch.
Whoa. Technically it's brunch.
Everything
But
breakfast was and more. With a little luck,
what's your favorite
you can
breakfast
get a
item?
trilogy series out of it.
That's gotta be like this.
Say, you know what a sequel is, don't you, Timmy? Why, sequels are the world's way of clinging helplessly to the past.
Okay.
We all want more of the things we love, and we're all afraid of change, which is what makes sequels so popular. New ideas are dangerous, Timmy, and they
Looks
can
like
lead
me.
to early aging. This eager-minded young thinker is just 29 years old. That's why we have sequels, to keep us couched in the familiar and the comfortable. Sequels are the bedrock of a healthy, functional society. And if you look around you, you'll find them everywhere you go.
I don't see a sequel.
For instance, this man is developing a sequel to the automobile, which we'll call the vertical automobile.
Plane.
It's a useless, impractical invention. And in 2 days' time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity.
Oh my god.
Not all sequels are heretical nonsense, however. Here's the man who invented breathing, which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death. Even your parents are getting a sequel, Timmy. Their names are Rob and Jessica, and they'll be taking care of you once your original parents are sent back in time to fight a secret war for the government. Sequels can be very fashionable. This young woman is wearing 5 shirts at once, which is a sequel to wearing 4 shirts at once. Look at Becky over there, wearing only 2 shirts at once. Get with the times, Becky. In fact, there is only one single thing in the world that isn't a sequel.
What is this from?
This. We don't know what it is or why it exists, but it's the prequel from which all sequels are derived. And just like everything else, the Stanley Parable is getting a sequel too. We all know, of course, that it was your favorite game as a child.
Never
Don't
played
you
it.
remember those long, lazy afternoons you spent playing the Stanley Parable? Watching
No,
your
I
precious
don't.
youth fritter away hour after
Know how you
hour.
feel, though.
We've all wasted our childhoods in one way or
Yeah,
another,
I agree.
and you were fortunate enough to get to waste yours on the Stanley Parable.
Never did, sorry.
But the Stanley Parable came out years ago, and you're not a child anymore. You're a man, which is like
You're a
the
man.
sequel to a child. And as a man, you want manly things like taxes and cheating at baseball. You need a man's video game, Timmy.
What?
And that's why the Stanley Parable 2 will be perfect for you. It's as manly as video games can get. And if you don't believe me, let's look at the burly
Jesus
hunk of a man
Christ.
who's responsible for the game. Huh, here he is, hard at work. His name is Gregory 8-Pack, and he's the cutting picture
8-Pack?
of raw, virile masculinity. Gregory is what we call the ideas guy, and he has the most important role on the team. The ideas guy tirelessly comes
Oh
up
my
with
God, we're only
interesting concepts
3 minutes
and then hands them off to the
in.
rest of the developers for the relatively simple job of turning those concepts into reality. For example, he's form. Tell your friends to bully their parents as well. It's through community
Okay.
efforts like these that the world comes together in harmony and connection. And it's only through this connection that we'll defeat Time Dracula once and for all.
I'm Dracula?
Don't let the time-traveling
Morbius?
vampires win. Buy the Stanley Parable 2 and pledge to support
Just sounds like
all
Morbius.
sequels for today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
Okay. Ew. Person, check out Stanley Parable. Bruh. X-Ball number 2. I am. Okay. It's a direct plug to their game. I bet you can buy this merch. Gotta be somewhere. Bucket, I guess.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind.
Ah! I just picked it up. Before it even...
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort,
I drop
even
it?
in the face of crushing
I didn't-
despair,
picked
must
it up when it
already
was
be
still in
sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thanks.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Bruh.
That really should be an award if it isn't already. You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Oh my god. Only 2 jumps. We'll save the rest.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't
My
you
God.
think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented.
symbols.
It screams progress
Like
and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay. There's more. Hey. Get back there. Damn, right there. Bird. Bucket. Hashtag settings. 5 wood. A map. Oh, there I am. Epilogue. This is the name of the player that's playing the game. Yeah, we've already. Well, okay. Oh.
Ah, collectibles.
Oh.
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, it's a solid object? I just assumed you could, like, walk through it. That's it. I feel like.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay. Infinite whole time. This will be interesting. Very, very interesting. Science. Okay. Can't even read.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward.
Oh my God.
As a medium.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to fall, but we're falling now, so.
Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
How long were you falling?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Don't worry, research bucket got me.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you.
Okay.
You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I'm not the problem.
Look,
You're the problem.
things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button.
So what
to
if we
warp
just
up
stay
to the
here?
top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
But this is load. Oh. Well.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that
Problem
you
is
like
not me.
holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said,
Everybody
yep,
likes
that's an
holes.
infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Little
I
bit.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm
I've had
positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Have you?
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something.
What are we gonna
Let's
try?
pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
I can also just jump.
Is the teleport button not working?
Not really.
You sure?
I can try
Well,
again.
I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole.
Bro.
And now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
That's
I hope
rude.
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
That. He still does nothing. And we're moving down. We are moving down, people. Bye-bye. When you can, easily just let go through each bucket. Okay, now this is cool, I guess. Bye-bye, world. Change your perspective. What? like that one. I like that. Change yourself. I. Oh, I'm just upset.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
No, I wasn't
Oh,
done.
good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Where are we going? Oh, we're going down again. Never mind. Guess not.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Started pretty. Achieve. Best achievement. Play the Stanley Parable for an entire duration of a Tuesday. We could have done that yesterday. Called 8. Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes 22 seconds. Could do that. The Super Boss side. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. Settings World Champion. All the settings like menu to all slider. I guess that's what we're doing next. We're gonna be here a minute, I think.
This
Whoa, things are inverted. That's cool though. Like, oh my god. I have to play with inverted controls right now. Create sheep. I want to go up here though. Not there. But I changed all your settings.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That's crazy. Wait, no, what? We didn't do something. Okay. The stream may be a little bit messy. The all setting sliders in the menu to all available numbers. Oh, all the available. Oh. I put them in thing.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is probably gonna. Still? Really? What other settings are there? Okay. That's cool, I guess. Are we done here then? I think we're done. If we're done, we're going back to. That's kind of cool, I guess. Person.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Yeah.
to move on now?
Yeah. This is the narrator for sure. Nope, that's Stanley.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes,
It's
I know
okay.
it's not exactly
All right.
clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
Something
Yes,
different.
this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding,
Two-hole.
Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Now the viewers will like
Safely,
it.
of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says
Like
with
what?
bold and uncompromising conviction,
Let's see it.
this is the Stanley
Stanley Parable
Parable 2. Let me see if I
Let's
can
go.
whip something up.
Come on, whip it up. Let's go.
All right, perfect.
Is it
Go
perfect?
ahead. Take a look.
Look, better be good. Oh, that's cool. Nice. It's nice. It fits it.
This All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Still don't know what these computers do.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Let it
You
have the
can
bucket
feel
then.
that, can't you? The
Let it
aura
have
of
it.
jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying
Well,
to say
yeah.
here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Well, I can't
I
even
know
drop
how
it.
hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years.
It's only been like...
Let him have it.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, you take that. Yeah, yeah, you're thinking and you don't have
I got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled.
Awesome.
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, another...
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. What was on here? Oh, no, we're not doing that. Walking around us. Another figure in the bathroom?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or
like Stanley.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I think this got changed. That's locked now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Maybe. Oh, not.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I may go get a bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
okay, I don't think I've ever gone down
facility.
I may have gone there like once, maybe.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
What I just did
The
there, but
monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
crazy.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Man, I'm sure break the game. Whatever.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Maybe.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
What the bucket want to do?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Oh yeah, we're here.
But here was the proof.
I still haven't
The
done anything.
heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down
but we
the
never
system.
pressed on. What off does? You don't know what it does. Don't know what on does.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Why would you do that,
Stanley
bucket?
gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds.
Ooh.
The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
A bird. I don't know.
The mind controls were only a facade
Those are birds for
to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
That's a duck.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
That's it? Is that the ending? That's it? Is that really it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Isn't there? How's this? Okay. Wait, did I?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Nope.
Was this better than the No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Wait a minute. I think down there's the...
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, there's a little thing over there. There's also a little ramp here that wasn't there. Bad, I already got in this. I think I just glitched it.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Now what? Are we forced to go into this? Because I think we are. Unless we can survive that fall somehow. God, what's it? Still can't get on any of these. Lost cat G. Boxes. Oh, we made it up on the table somehow. How good. Fuck. Yep. Yeah, this problem. Oh, but I can game. We like breaking games. How I can get up there? I did it. Oh, like that. Gotta be waiting. Gotta be waiting. Gotta be. Ah. That do. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket,
Oh, the
less
bucket.
sense
Or bucket
anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
Okay. More Bucket Lord.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
Oh,
go to the
why I'm
meeting
pressing
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Literally just pressing them. Nothing.
The confusion and the chaos
The
all
bucket again.
seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Okay. What?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Left. Oh. Bottom text. All include. Started by employee 4. Oh my. Oh my god. I need like one. No
All
more
right,
room.
I've got a second sticker back
Oh.
here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's
Okay,
appropriate.
go for it.
See,
Oh.
I feel
I'm liking that.
it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
I'm really liking that.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker
Well,
and say to yourself,
I think it's a bucket.
"Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to
Fine,
be
whatever.
honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display.
Whatever.
You can stay here all you... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, how do we can use the elevator? Someone started singing. He's just singing again. Play the game. Need one more Stanley figurine.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication. The bucket did not react, except perhaps a tiny glow of warmth. Subtle, yes, but an unmistakable spark from somewhere deep within. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Go. This time we're in a...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Oh.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
All my homies love the bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I hope the bucket trusts.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Bro.
They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
The heck?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for this part of the Stanley Parable. What did we do? Pretty much got the bucket endings. We got the Stanley Parable 2 ending. So I think that's some good progress for today, though. But tomorrow we'll be back with it again. I think tomorrow we're probably gonna play a different game. I don't know what game, but probably a different. Or we may even just play more Stanley Parable. But that will be it. That is gonna be it for today. Y'all enjoyed? Please, if you like it, like the stream, like the video, subscribe if you liked it. More content like that. But that it. The opportunity. Catch y'all later.
All right, mister, what do you